There are things when you're friends, even when you stop being friends, they should be untouchable. And this is how I saw Cole's disses to Kendrick. Both The Weeknd and ASAP Rocky jump in the beef, all shots at Drake. Suddenly on the album, everyone is tweeting, wait a second, J. Cole is on this album? Cole being on a feature with Future right after his Drake diss that ignited the beef is like all your ops going on a drill mission to come and get you, and your friend called you and said, listen, man, I can't help you with this. As your ops coming to get you, your friend who said he can't help you no more, somehow there's hidden footage of your friend changing your ops flat tire. My late night DoorDash order was all messed up, and my friend's over there drinking my Oreo milkshake with the DoorDash driver. Seeing Kendrick drop bombshells, and then see Drake and Cole drop hyperbole, sexualizing lyrical nonsense. Here comes Cole rapping alongside Drake's damn near #1 op. I'm coming with you, and to make it worse, he participates, but then says, I don't know what y'all are doing here. You get on 2 features with the same people who are dissing the person you wrote a soliloquy to at the end of the song. Go back and throw some more sneak shots at both Kendrick and Drake in the same song that you're reaching out to Drake about. And then in the middle of it all, diss us, the fans? Diss the creators and the media personalities? Then at the end of it all, in a strange sort of way, labeled yourself the winner. The truth is, Kendrick Lamar was victorious in all this. Hip hop is not just good vibes and party music. And maybe that's the lesson Kendrick Lamar was trying to teach you and Drake. J. Cole is frustrating. Seeing how he maneuvered through this rap beef after Port Antonio has got me very confused about him and looking at him a little sideways. Let me explain. All this to me would have been forgotten had he not reinvigorated that 7-minute drill type vibes in Port Antonio, bringing back up the rap beef, painting Kendrick, Drake, and the fans as having bad intentions, wanting just clicks and money, while him being above it all. Mr. Self-Righteous only didn't want to get involved in the rap beef because of how evil engaging in a competitive sparring of MCs was, while at the same time wanting praise for both his own pen from the same people that he's practically dissing, along with doing a full poetic stanza to Drake about him still considering Drake a friend after collaborating with his ops and standing on the sidelines throughout the entire beef, then kicking some dust back up when the smoke has cleared, a text message you could have just sent to Drake personally. All this flip-flopping and this ode to Drake at the end of Port Antonio is the exact reason that leads me all the way back to the original verse that set the rap beef on fire in the first place, from Kendrick Lamar on Like That, when he saw Drake and J. Cole collaborating in First Person Shooter, a song he seemingly declined to be on, where he said, mother F the big 3, it's just big me. Bum. Another line that ages incredibly well by Kendrick. He saw the future again and knew where J. Cole's true but still flip-flopping alignment really was. And for that, I have to give it to Kendrick. So without further ado, let's get into the 7 mistakes J. Cole has made in this rap beef. The first one, dropping 7-minute drill and then backing out on April 5th. You know, this 7-minute drill diss song to Kendrick was really hard for me to forget. It's just not something that could be put out and then unreleased and deleted because of all the things that was said. Port Antonio, this last song by J. Cole, brought those vibes back. Like, he had a lot to say. So it just sort of reinvigorated what he said he was moving away from in 7-minute drill. 7-minute drill was like, you are tag team with someone to go in the ring, and your tag team partner gets in the ring, he jabs the opponent, but then suddenly runs off, saying to your opponent, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Then to you, look, this just isn't me, bro, leaves the stadium, and now you turn around and look at your opponent dead in the eyes, all by yourself, ready to stomp you out. Not to mention your opponent now has brought a few friends along. But not only that, in the next few days, your tag team partner deeply and sincerely apologizes to your opponent and then starts hanging out with the people on the opposing team. And then when it's all over and the smoke has cleared, he comes back to kick up some more dust. Number 2, dissing Kendrick's discography. This was almost unforgivable for me. Going back to 7-minute drill for a second, I realized J. Cole tried to unrelease this and undo all of what he did. And he apologized to Kendrick. But something about it has always rubbed me the wrong way and has been a little unforgiving. And I don't think it was a light jab at Kendrick. It was heavy. The disses were fierce. And all Kendrick said to Cole was, if you walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Talk about emotional. Like That felt like a bombshell, but not that much to Cole, honestly. Then Cole turns around and comes out with a full diss song to Kendrick. Before Kendrick's main opponent Drake could even get out of the bathroom, he's still wiping. And even as a Kendrick fan, I didn't care as much during the beef. But now that you apologized, and then Cole comes back with Port Antonio, you go back and you're like, it's like your friend one day says the nastiest, unforgiving things to you, and then apologizes a few days later. Depending on what was said, something about it can stick. Like if they made fun of your sick mother or your brother who has a dying disease. I'm not saying J. Cole did that exactly, but in comparison to the rap beef, it maybe is similar. If your friend says those sort of things, even if they apologize, something about those words can last forever. There are things when you're friends, even when you stop being friends, they should be untouchable. And this is how I saw Cole's disses to Kendrick. Stuff Cole had to stand on, but then he didn't. Like, did you really not mean it, Cole? And there's just something about saying a diss and then saying Kendrick Lamar is the best to ever do it. And we gave the pass for the diss. But now again, there's these little subtle shade things directed towards, Kendrick and Drake as well, along with some praise to Drake. The diss to Kendrick's discography, and people were somewhat debating, like, which album was he talking about? I mean, even Kendrick fans texting me, like, what album is he talking about exactly? I was a sleeper. Because before Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick did have music prior, mixtapes, Section 80, but it's generally seen that Good Kid, Mad City was Kendrick's first studio album under Aftermath. And we don't have to go very far. Let's just look at Cole's words himself. 4 albums in 12 years, I could divide. So he's kind of saying like as if Kendrick is talking about only 4 albums. At the time of this song, he can only be referring to Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale. Because he calls the first a classic, obviously Good Kid, Mad City, third being In the Prime, being Damn, and the last one tragic, Mr. Morale, which maybe didn't have a great reception. But as a Kendrick fan, I loved it. Then your second shit put dudes to sleep, but they gassed it. One of the most notable albums in hip hop, To Pimp a Butterfly. The album that had We Gon' Be Alright, King Kunta, You, I, The Blacker the Berry, and a running poem throughout the whole album towards Tupac, which concludes with the voice of Pac. Respectfully, Cole, I don't think you ever made an album like this. We know it's a beef, and we all want to see who can use their rap skills to up the other opponent. It's a competition. But something about the apology, but then the sentiments in Port Antonio made me go back and say, damn, Cole, you dissing To Pimp a Butterfly has me looking at you sideways, especially after you heavily aligned yourself with Drake at the end of Port Antonio. It's all very confusing. Number 3, apologizing to Kendrick. 2 days later, after 7 Minute Drill, J. Cole gets on stage at his Dreamville festival and does an apology to Kendrick. Even as a Kendrick fan, something about the apology didn't fully sit right? It's kind of confusing, right? Because it's very strange for someone to all out go to war with you and all out diss you and say things about you, then 2 days later say, I didn't really mean it, I'm sorry, whatever, right? Something about that just doesn't fully sit right. At the moment, don't get me wrong, I'm like, okay, he did it. We're in the middle of a rap beef, but you just came out with a diss to Kendrick and it wasn't light at all. I would say it was a very heavy diss. Then you just come and apologize saying, I just made a mistake. Kendrick Lamar is the best to do it. It's fair. We all make mistakes, but it's J. Cole's movement throughout the timeline that just puts an apology in question to me. Number 4, teaming up with Opps multiple times, getting on Metro Boomin's We Don't Trust You Part 2 with Future on a song called Red Leather. A few days later, after dropping 7 Minute Drill against Kendrick Lamar, then 2 days later, apologizing and praising Kendrick on stage at the Dreamville Festival. Okay, fine. Here, bow out. Let it go. We're done. Then we watch how you move. We know Metro Boomin had already dropped We Don't Trust You, right? The album that featured Kendrick Lamar's fire-igniting verse on Like That with shots at Drake alongside Future. Then while Drake and the world was watching Metro Boomin's second album drop called We Don't Trust You Part 2, which everyone has the sentiments are that the title itself is a shot at Drake, we're waiting to see what else is going to be said and how far are the shots going to go. We then see on this album, both The Weeknd and A$AP Rocky jump in the beef, all dissing Drake. So we knew this was it, all shots at Drake. Suddenly on the album, everyone is tweeting, wait a second, J. Cole is on this album? He's on a feature called Red Leather alongside Future, the guy who basically ignited the beef against Drake alongside Metro in the first damn place. Like, what the hell? So Future comes out alongside a fire featured verse by Kendrick, taking shots at Drake, called Like That, on an album called We Don't Trust You, towards Drake. Metro Boomin announces he's dropping another album right after called We Don't Trust You Part 2. And on that album is you rapping alongside Future himself. Granted, the song Red Leather itself isn't a shot at Drake per se. And that's what J. Cole is going to say because the guy is oblivious. But the whole damn near album is a perceived diss album towards Drake. And this is my issue with J. Cole's position. He always acts oblivious. You're a grown up and you know what it means to align yourself with things. It's not just about you not dissing. It's about alignment and friendships. If you're hanging out with someone who dissed me, I got it out for you too, honestly. Cole being on a feature with Future right after his Drake diss that ignited the beef is like all your ops going on a drill mission to come and get you, and your friend called you and said, listen, man, this ain't me. I can't help you with this. I don't do these drill missions. Then, as your ops coming to get you, your friend who said he can't help you no more, somehow there's hidden footage of your friend changing your ops flat tire. Somehow there's hidden footage of him in your ops car playing with the aux. My late night DoorDash order was all messed up, missing all my food, and my friend's over there drinking my Oreo milkshake with the DoorDash driver. J. Cole is like, oh, you missing your food? My bad. I didn't take anything. Wait. Let me go see what's going on. Meanwhile, drinking it with the driver. J. Cole goes to the driver. Hey, is this Drake's milkshake? I mean, the obliviousness is not very forgivable. Number 5. J. Cole's drop of Grippy, then You My Everything by Drake. Kendrick dropped Not Like Us. Drake responded with a white flag, horrendous response to Heart Part 6. I'll give it to Drake that the guy tried really hard. But after this was over, everyone was curious, what is Drake gonna drop next? Something inside of me was like, look, Drake, you lost. His disses didn't hit against Kendrick. Maybe he'll look at it and see how he sort of messed up and then drop something nice, like a timestamp record of him rapping nice, something reminiscent of early Drake. But then we see he releases You My Everything with Sexy Red, rapping on the BBL Drizzy beat. And just calling himself BBL Drizzy, saying, I changed a lot of girls' lives for real. They need a new body. They hitting me. Hey, BBL Drizzy, they want a new body. They asked me for it. Which we give Drake a pass for. We give Drake a pass for that stuff. And here comes Cole also. Cole at the same time has a song called Grippy with lines like, it's grippy and wet. You know I'm a vet, but you making me feel like a rookie. How you making me tap out so swiftly? Reading these lines make me, I don't know, it's funny. And now as a listener, seeing Kendrick drop bombshells and haymakers, win the beef, and then see Drake and Cole drop hyperbole, sexualizing lyrical nonsense, something made me align J. Cole with Drake. Something seems connected there. And still, I gave a pass because I'm like, okay, the guy bowed out. Whatever, let him make some nonsense songs like Drake. But again, as a hip hop head, I'm still looking at Cole sideways because you called To Pimp a Butterfly putting people to sleep music and that it was overhyped. But then you come out with a song, it's grippy. I ain't mad at it. It's the obliviousness. It's the flip-flopping. It's the what do you stand on Cole lens that gets me here. Number 6, J. Cole collaborates again with Drake's op, A$AP Rocky, on Ruby Rosary as the beef between Drake and A$AP Rocky is simmering during the beef, and they are taking heavy shots at each other, where A$AP Rocky came on a feature with Future in the We Don't Trust You Part 2 album on a song called Show of Hands. A$AP is taking shots at Drake, which was a response to some of previous disses to him and Rihanna on the For All My Dogs album from Drake. On Metro's album, A$AP Rocky is even saying he wished he was on the first diss album towards Drake, saying dudes in their feelings over women. What, you heard or something? I smashed before you birthed, son. Flacco hit it first, son. Still don't trust you. It's always us, never them. Joking how he had relations with Drake's baby mother. Then Drake took heavy shots at A$AP Rocky, saying Rakim talking shit again, gas because you hit my BM first, do the math who I was hitting then. Probably got to have a kid again before you think of dropping any shit again. Kind of seems like he's cracking jokes about Rihanna and him and Rihanna having children. Then after the rap beef, A$AP Rocky is getting into his groove again, still taking some little sneak shots at Drake when it's all over in the song called Hijack. Here comes Cole rapping alongside Drake's damn near #1 op of the moment, A$AP Rocky, on a song called Ruby Rosary. Like, what the hell, Cole? After trying to stomp on Drake, A$AP Rocky says, I done kept my foot on dudes' necks way before police in this song. Then he says, dudes want to smoke with me. Tell him, push up, Hercules. Hercules, tell him, push up. Tell him, pull up, 33. My mind obliques, tell him, push up. Ambulance on the scene. Kind of like a play on Drake's push-ups. Sneak disses to Drake, continuing after the rap beef. Then suddenly here comes Cole out of nowhere. And his lines are, hello, the world is tumbling down. I've been chasing my piece of pussy. I just got the cookie. It's crumbling now. What happens when rapping no longer matters? Can I still make a stack on my brilliance? The obliviousness of Cole, even on this song, it's like J. Cole is rapping on a song referencing the parts of hip hop he doesn't understand or doesn't like. That is literally happening on the song he's being featured on. It's like being part of an ad promoting sugary candy, and he's in the ad saying, I don't know, they say ring pops are bad for you. You know, sometimes I like ring pops though. He looks a little lost wherever he's at. Like he's in a crowd, he sees a bunch of people running, he just starts running with them down the block. And it's like, hey y'all, where y'all going? I'm coming with you. And to make it worse, he participates, but then says, I don't know what y'all are doing here. Number 7. Then we get to the drop of Port Antonio, where he's just all over the place. We have to sit here and argue what the hell is he exactly saying. Because after all this, you diss Kendrick, apologize, make some hyperbole music along the way, get on 2 features with the same people who are dissing the person, Drake, you wrote a soliloquy to at the end of the song, go back and throw some more sneak shots at both Kendrick and Drake in the same song that you're reaching out to Drake about. And then in the middle of it all, this us, the fans, this the creators and the media personalities, this the people who are just listening and enjoying the music we're getting from some of the biggest artists in the world. And it appears you're dissing both Kendrick and Drake in the song saying, I could see the hate in both your eyes. Here we go again, because of all the flip-flopping, people are left arguing, well, maybe he wasn't talking about the rappy, but maybe he was talking about the critics and the podcasters. Cole, you're talking about everything and the narratives are all mixed up. I can see the hate in both your eyes, but the third's blind. So you search lines, but you struggle, which explains the puzzled look on the dull faces the word finds. Don't get me wrong, I've said in my previous videos, the lines themselves are lyrically well put together. I mean, but you made fun of Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly, apologized, then said, there's hate in your eyes, and then said, the third eye is blind. So you, Cole, are the one who has risen above all the hate? Yet you sort of partook in it all? Then when the dust has settled and the smoke has cleared, you come back kicking up some dust again, kicking some rocks? Come on, Cole. He says they see this fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost a battle, dog. I would have lost a bro. I would have gained a foe. And all for what? Just to attain some mo, props some strangers. He also says they stripped me on my spot and now I'm finally free. They say I'm picking sides. Hey, don't you lie on me. Then start another war. Hey, Drake, you'll always be my, I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my. F all the narratives. Cole, you picked the damn side. Like, are you oblivious? And maybe that's the problem, is that you went from side to side and it confused everyone. Then at the end of it all, in a strange sort of way, labeled yourself the winner. The truth is, Kendrick Lamar was victorious in all this, and that's the truth. Then in the same song, you write a lyrical soliloquy, you write a lyrical ode to Drake and thank his pen, someone who seems to have been known to have ghostwriters and reference tracks for some of his biggest bangers. J. Cole, all of this would have been left out. We already forgave you for the Kendrick diss. But to me, this sort of reinvigorated, it reignited what we left behind. I think Cole is a phenomenal artist and one of the most lyrically talented rappers. Cole, what's your goalpost? Like, what makes someone the best? Maybe there's more to being the best rapper than being the best lyrical MC. Maybe there's so much more to this that Kendrick Lamar has taught us. And the sentiments on this song may not have meant to be so harsh, but maybe that's the beauty of hip hop. Narratives are complex, where the main idea gets woven through many sub-ideas into a thick fabric, and it's for the listener to unravel the seams of that fabric in a Beauty and Beast type fashion. Hip hop is a playground where people can play, be friends, bully each other, get hurt, smile, or cry. Hip hop is not just good vibes and party music. And maybe that's the lesson Kendrick Lamar was trying to teach you and Drake. And maybe some of this misses J. Cole. And he's having a tough time playing in the same playground anymore. With all that said, J. Cole, hip hop and its fans, the people you said were thirsty for blood and clicks, can all still forgive you one day.